Welcome back, everyone, to yet another enticing session at the 6th edition of India Affiliate Summit. I would like to take this opportunity to quickly thank our partners, our title partner, We Commission, our registration partner, Value Leaf, our digital growth partner, Microsoft and InMobi, our sessions partner, AdPub.social, our gold partners, Admitat and CollectSend Ads, our mobile attribution partner, Branch, our bronze partners, Offer 18, Amar Ujala, The Indian Express, and Celebite, and our knowledge partner, Nielsen. With that, I would like to dive into our next session. This session is a lead talk on the topic, Harnessing Changing Consumer Behavior in a Recession. And for the same, I would like to welcome our esteemed guest, Mr. Alex Brown, co-founder of Beardo Club. Welcome, sir. Mr. Brown has been in the e-commerce space for over 5 years and built a globally known brand, the Beardo Club, a subscription-based company from $0 to $10 million in its first year, and has gone on to get over 500 million online video views and generate over $50 million in revenue. He has been sharing his life lessons on stages around the world and through advisory work, aspires to help companies build great brands. Mr. Brown loves the startup space and helping other entrepreneurs establish and position their companies for massive growth. We welcome you, and I would request you to please take over the session.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, an honor to be here. And thank you everyone for watching, and I appreciate you spending your time here today and learning more about e-commerce in general, about affiliate marketing. This is certainly an amazing time to be in our industry. I'm going to share my screen. I've got a little presentation deck. So I'd like to walk through some ideas and some concepts that I have found have worked really well. If only I could remember how to use PowerPoint, that would probably be a good thing. Here we go. Slideshow. So today we're going to be talking about how to build a really profitable brand by harnessing shifting consumer perceptions. So today is really all about your customers, the people that you're looking to target. So thank you for the glorious introduction. As the main success that I've had in my career is with Beard Club, which is now the Beard Club. We did 10 million in sales in our first year. We've done over $50 million in revenue today. But what was really cool was that we really had no email marketing skills. We used no affiliates to do any of this sales. And why that's interesting is because if you are in affiliate marketing, if you know affiliate marketing, this is going to be incredibly useful, because if we did know affiliate marketing, we did understand it, we probably could have done 20 million in sales instead of 10 million. So everything we're going to talk about today is going to be highly useful to you if you're doing affiliate marketing. And our website was terrible. This was 2015. Shopify did not have anything good for subscription companies at that time. So we built a highly custom website, which means there were all sorts of custom problems. Because of that, I've been featured in all of these, online publications. And I don't know why I even put this slide in, other than every presenter does it when they're like, hey, this is why you should listen to me. I'm really important. I don't think that I've made every mistake in the book, and I'd like to share some of those with you today. There's a really, really huge opportunity for us in e-commerce and in affiliate marketing right now. Everybody knows the huge things that are going on in the world, the massive changes. And so really, I think right now you have this amazing opportunity for people who really want to buy stuff online for the first time in forever. E-commerce and buying online has gotten the best PR boost possible. Not that any of us could have hoped for, the current situation with the pandemic, but there are more people shopping online than ever before. So right now, you can make a lot of sales, but you can also experiment and start to build a really strong brand story around whatever product or whatever community it is that you're building. So when you combine this story with really powerful performance and affiliate marketing, I think that's where you'll have the opportunity to win moving forward. So these are the three big shifts that I've identified, that anyone can identify, that are happening right now, that are going to be very important to understand in order to position yourself, your community, if you're a publisher or your e-commerce brand, in order to be in line with what people are really interested in right now and where these perceptions are going, right? So how to make this applicable to you. Don't take notes on any of this. Really, all I want you to do is write down ideas. So if what I'm talking about in those three categories as we go along creates an idea for you on how you can write a better email or create a better Facebook ad, or change a landing page to be more empathetic to the concerns of your customers, of your readers, then write down those ideas, right? That will be the big win right here. It's not just to try and think of like, oh, I need to fit everything Alex talks about into some sort of category. No, I want you to write down ideas because you know your business, your brand, your customers, right? So when something changes in your mind, you think, oh, this is how I can better connect with my customers and what they care about. That's where you're going to find the victories in this. So let's dive into the first one, economic restructuring. This virus is going to change everything on a number of levels. We still haven't seen a really massive economic correction, though. A lot of governments have been kind of bailing out businesses and bailing out the workforce, right? But there's a really, really amazing author named Ray Dalio. He's the co-founder of Bridgewater Capital, and he's a really brilliant sort of capitalist investor. And so if you're interested in how this economic restructuring can go down, will the US dollar remain the dominant currency? Very big questions. I recommend you check out some of his TED Talks and some of his LinkedIn articles. He's been writing a lot of great stuff on the changing value of money and the way that the world economies are speaking to one another right now. So beyond this current unemployment, which a lot of people face in various countries right now, meaning they can't go to work if they're locked down, capitalism is really, really good, right? And it's almost too good to the point where humans aren't necessarily needed anymore, right? AI is getting really good at doing things that we never thought possible, like diagnosing patients as a doctor, and robots don't get sick, right? So AI is only going to continue to increase. And why that's a concern to me and to anyone like yourself is that we need people to sell to. We need a strong middle class of people that are buying. In India and China, really the only two places in the world right now where the middle class is growing. And that's important because when that growth happens, that's where the opportunity is for us to, I don't want to say to take advantage of that because it's a terrible thing to say, but that's where our opportunity is to sell great products and great services to people. So this is going to be, no one really knows how this is going to shake out, but economic concern and uncertainty is something that everyone is thinking about right now, whether you are an investor, whether you're about to buy your first house, or whether you're just a student out of school, right? Everyone is concerned at a different level about what is going to happen with this. The second big concern is this like biosphere consciousness. So, Gen Z is walking out across the school and protesting, not right now, but they were, about climate change, right? So young people increasingly care about climate change to the point of walking out of school. I'm very concerned about just biosphere in sort of general, right? Lots of people debate whether we're causing climate change or not. One thing we can't deny is that what we're doing to this planet is not sustainable, right? We have so many people that want to live a certain life, and that's just not sustainable the way that we're doing it right now. We're in the sixth great extinction event on Earth, the Anthropocene, as it called, or the Holocene. And this is caused by us. We're creating a mass extinction event from humans, right? And so we can't walk away from this, right? There's 60 years of topsoil left on Earth. So after the pandemic is open, after the virus is open, people really cared about plastic straws before. They don't so much right now. They want plastic straws because they're not reusable, but they will again soon, right? So we need to understand that this is the next great battle that we face as a species, is how do we live in a more sustainable way? The third one is social and political consciousness. Even just the image of this man, Donald Trump, is very divisive for people. Some people absolutely love the guy. Some people absolutely hate the guy. Plenty of people don't care, but we see a lot of divisions right now, especially on social media, right? Half of my friends are on the right politically, half of my friends are on the left. I think capitalism's great. The rest of them want the whole system torn down for socialism. There are people who think COVID-19 is a hoax, and there are people who really want lockdowns, really want to take it seriously, right? And we're starting to fall more and more into our own echo chambers that reinforce these beliefs, right? So these are three big shifts that are happening concurrently right now. The biosphere consciousness, I think, has taken a little bit of a backseat to the top two right now, but it will come back and be the top one within the next 5 years, absolutely, without doubt. So winning in entrepreneurship isn't just, siphoning incremental value. So you see an opportunity, hey, I could sell this product in this market and make this much money. If you really want to win in entrepreneurship and you really want to build a great brand and you really want to actually make true wealth and true value with your business, You have to solve problems. So in all three of those big shifts, there are multiple problems to be solved, right? And that's encouraging because people like you and I, who are entrepreneurs, we can go out and solve these problems, and there's no problem with making money doing that, right? It feels pretty good to make money solving a problem instead of just selling something, right? So I'm going to now come back to these three issues that we've talked about, and frame them more in terms of how you can use them to your advantage, right? We're really the networked generation right now in terms of social consciousness. I mentioned that sometimes social media drives us apart, right? Because we tend to follow the people who have the same views as us and agree with them. That said, though, we're citizens of the world. I'm in Canada. It's 6:30 in the morning, 6:40 in the morning, speaking to people all around the world right now, right? We can do this from our laptop. This is pretty incredible. So the opportunity that we have to connect with people has never been more amazing. So despite what Facebook and what the news says, people still care about people. You know, if you saw someone fall in the street, right, you would probably go and help them, right? You wouldn't think about, well, is this person a Republican or a Democrat, or do they like socialism or capitalism, or what do they think about COVID-19? If someone fell, you know, an elderly person fell, you would run up and help them, right? We still care about that. And especially right now during this pandemic, where a lot of people have been separated from their family, from their friends, from their work colleagues, everything like that, we're craving connection, right? So in order for you to really make the most of this changing perception, is to actually help change it, right? And sell social cohesion. Everything out there it seems like it's dividing people apart, but with your marketing, with your messaging, with your emails, with your community, if you're bringing people together, people love that, right? And you see things like you see commercials and ads right now where they are bringing people together and it makes you feel good, right? And so that's what I'm really getting at here is that if the world is really tearing itself apart and dividing itself, especially in the US right now, you have the opportunity to bring people back together. People love seeing this social cohesion, right? So think about that. Like, what is your brand doing to bring people together? What can you do to bring people together? We have so much content right now. There's content coming at us at all times. Even this is content, right? But what we crave is connection. We want to connect with people and build intimacy over various things. When it comes to Biosphere, the opportunities are massive, right? But I believe that looking to reduce your waste that your products, like if they're physical products that they carry, right? You reduce your carbon footprint. Right now, things like this are marketing, sort of advantages, right? I have a brand that I work with right now that has a sustainable way that they sell their products. And that's a huge marketing advantage for us. We can market that as a feature. I believe in the future, this is going to have to be law. We're going to have to get really serious about sustainability and the way that things are produced, more local, the way we're allocating the limited resources that we have. And this is going to be really important when you're talking to young people, right? This is the planet they're inheriting, and this is what they really care about. And I think you might see countries come out with some sort of Green New Deal where to get people, where we talked about the massive unemployment that's happening around, to get people back to work, maybe we can start to build the infrastructure for a more sustainable economy, right? So I think that might be coming in the future too. In economic restructuring, there are all sorts of different things that are going on right now. Something that's very important as a marketing perspective, though, is buying local, right? And that can mean in your local community, or that can mean nationally, right? So when you're in the USA right now and you say that something's made in the USA and you can say that you have 5 people hired, that's a very huge selling point for you. It was before, but now it's so much more so. But the way that we work is potentially going to change, right? If more of us are being phased out of the workplace by robots, by automation, we're going to have to try and think about what work might look like in the future and position ourselves and our companies to support that vision that people have for the future of what people are going to do. And this just isn't, kind of, oh, wow, it sounds so cool to build a business that does the right thing. This is good business practice. There's a really great book called Evolved Enterprise by Yannick Silver. And in that, he shows that conscious companies, so companies that have the base of caring about the world, caring about sustainability, about bringing people together, when they have those messages, they outperform the S&P 500 by 1,400%. So there's nowhere that you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's a favorite Beatles quote of mine. But so no matter where you're at with your brand, with your business, maybe you're just doing this for money right now, that's fine, right? You can start to work in these things that people care about. You can become a more conscious brand environmentally, socially, politically, economically. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can start to implement the ideas that hopefully you've been writing down in what people care about in little ways, incrementally. Really, what you want to do is have a story. And there's a lot of different definitions for what a brand is, right? To me, it's a story. It's a story that you tell to your customers in your marketing, your emails, your Facebook ads. It's a story that they tell to themselves when they buy this. Like when I buy this iPhone, I say, oh, I'm an iPhone user and I like this because I'm a tech savvy guy and this, that. I tell myself something when I buy something. We all do this. But really importantly, it's the story that they tell to one another. If they have a really good experience with your product and they start talking about it to someone else, this is where you really have something special. This is where I can go out and say, hey, you guys got to get the new iPhone. And Apple doesn't need to pay for marketing for that to happen, right? They've given me this experience and I'm willing to tell this story. So I'm going to touch really quickly on the branding process. So we have 3 really key points to this. And this is how you build in your story from those shifts in consumer consciousness into these 3 key points, which is why, who, and what. Starting with why, you have to ask yourself why your brand or your business exists. If you started it to make money, that's totally fine. That's how we started Beard Club. We started talking to our customers. We started understanding that we had built something that was really special to people, and it inspired people, and it connected people. And we brought people together, and that's why our videos were going viral. So we realized that we existed more than just to make money. We existed for these bigger purposes, right? So you have to ask yourself why you're building this and not something else. And so, like, if you can't answer the question, why do you care about this, then why should somebody else care, right? And what in the world, maybe it's one of the 3 things that we discussed: social, political, economic, biosphere. What makes you say we've got to change that about the world, right? So maybe your business sells, mortgage leads, right? You're like, well, how am I supposed to make this conscious? Maybe you really care about dogs and animals and you want to support animal shelters. And there's a way that you can partner up with an animal shelter. So for every lead that you bring in, you save a dog's life or something like that, right? So that will at least start to give you some purpose behind your brand, a reason for it to exist. And it gives you a story to tell your customers, right? So these are really what you're looking to do is find something you're passionate about, you care about, and you want to change, actually change that and help that problem. But then in the process, you get a story to tell your customers, for them to tell each other, and for you to tell yourself at night when you put your head on the pillow, and even though you're making money doing something. The second question is who, right? And who is this for? This is your avatar, as we would call it in marketing. And this isn't everyone, right? This is about like narrowing it down to a very specific segment of people, as Seth Godin would call it, your minimum viable audience. Right? So how do I find the small tribe of people that really care about this? And from there, you can learn how to build that outwardly. But you have to know what they care about. And again, the 3 things we've been talking about are things that they care about, whether they consciously say it or not. These are things that are on everyone's mind right now. So that's why I brought those up. How do you want them to see themselves, right? What's really important here is that we tend to think that our product and our service is all about us, but it's really all about them. It has to always be about them and how they want to see themselves. And that's the story that they tell themselves when they buy the product, right? And what do they aspire to be like? Easiest example of this would be in like the weight loss industry, right? They don't sell you on a program or a process, right? The way that you sell someone in the weight loss industry is on what they want to be like, what the end result is. So supporting them now and allowing them to make their own hero's journey to get to where they want to be. And the last part is what. So this can be your actual product. It can be your experience. What can you provide for them to accomplish their goals? You can't have a great company without a great product. You have to fulfill your promise to customers. What kind of content do they consume, though? Because I consider content a product, right? Very much so. And you can build a community with content. And from that community, you can sell products that you don't even own. You can do affiliate marketing, perhaps. So combining affiliate marketing and publishing with a physical product is such a very, very powerful thing. And then lastly, what do you want them to say about your experience? This goes to the story that they tell each other. I think it's going to be very, very hard to compete without a strong customer experience in the future moving forward. And customer experience is a combination of a number of different things. It's your product and how it works. It's how you talk to them, like throughout the process of them being a prospect all the way to being a buyer. Maybe it's like the way that you package their product, right? But that customer experience is really going to solidify that story that they're telling themselves, and then they go and tell other people about their product, about your product and your service. And really importantly, the last point with who, what, and why. This is a loop. This is a feedback loop. This is not a straight line. Oh, I figured this one out, then this one, then this one. You can understand something about your customers, your who, and you can speak to them on the phone. Like, I always recommend speaking to your customers because they will tell you the most incredible things, and it's pretty much free other than your time. You can speak to them and they'll say, hey, I really love your product because it changed my life and I lost, 30 pounds from it and I feel like a kid again. And you're like, wow, that's why I'm doing this. I help people feel like a kid again. And then that understanding of why you're doing it might help you find your next product in that mix. Well, I want to find stuff that helps people feel like a kid. So I'm going to choose and launch a new product, and that becomes what? Or more content around feeling like a kid. So really, like, just continually asking yourself this question, to me, is the most fun part about building a brand. It's not a straight line, and it is very fluid. So that's really what I wanted to cover today, which is those three main points of what is on people's mind. And again, the key is empathy. Put yourself in people's shoes right now. A lot of customers are having a hard time. Bring them together, help them feel better. And I believe, honestly, that you will absolutely win with affiliate marketing, with e-commerce. So that is the end of my presentation. I don't remember how to get back. Stop sharing. There we go. So I hope you guys can see me on the big screen now. I hope my hair is okay. So we've got a couple of questions that I saw coming in. Where are we here? Q&A chat. Oh, no, I don't see the questions anymore. I finished a little bit ahead of time so I could have some questions, but I don't see them. Oh, will affiliate marketing work during a recession? Here we go. Sorry, I didn't see these. So I'll answer that one first. I think affiliate marketing will absolutely work during a recession. It's a primary growth driver for the brand that I'm working right now called My Green Fills. It's an 8-figure e-commerce brand. And it's honestly better for us to work with affiliates than it is to work with Facebook and Instagram right now. And better to work with influencers than Facebook and Instagram right now, because it's so hard to compete on those platforms. Whereas if we find someone that can drive quality traffic to our website, I'm way more happy to pay that person than Mark Zuckerberg or Larry Brin or Sergey Page or Larry Page or Sergey Brin at Google, right? I'm much more happy as a brand to do that. So I think affiliate marketing will it'll more than work. I think it'll thrive. I think right now is an incredible opportunity for affiliate marketing. And I'm glad that I really only started to understand it 3 years ago and really started to tap into the power of it. So I'm really excited for all of you guys in affiliate marketing. What you're doing is very important right now because it's just so expensive to do traditional media buying and be really successful at it. It's so competitive. Next question. In a recession period, as the spending consumers will decrease, that would be the change in marketing strategies of advertisers. I'm not sure what the question is asking, but I think to comment on that, consumer spending power is going to decrease during a recession. Absolutely. And that either means you need to lower your prices on your products, which really stinks, or look for ways to reach the absolute right customers, in my opinion. Or you can also create a story that adds enough value for people. So right now, a lot of people are complaining about Amazon and Walmart and Target and these big retailers, especially in the US, who've essentially wiped out all the small stores, right? So if you have a store, maybe you're charging an extra $2 or $3 for a shirt or for a pencil or whatever it may be. But if it's made local and it's creating jobs locally, you can still charge more, and you can have people that don't have as much money, but they really resonate with that. Maybe they lost their job, but they're willing to pay an extra $3 for a shirt because they know it's supporting someone else's job. And that's why I think that the economic concerns that people have can be an incredible fuel for your advertising and for your brand building if you tap into it the right way and if you support people the right way. It's not about exploiting that message, but it's about actually living it and wanting to help and wanting to create change. When you do that, A, it's way more fun, and B, you have an amazing story to tell. So I hope that was helpful. Which categories you think will have a great downfall in sales during a recession? This is a really interesting question. I think in every category you will see people emerge as winners where you wouldn't expect it, but I also think that you will see people emerge as losers in any category. I think really having that story to tell is super important because you can kind of maintain your margins. You're not racing to the bottom of price like you do on Amazon. I mean, I'm hesitant to name a couple of categories because, look, I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen. None of us really do. And I think most people that tell you know what's going to happen typically aren't right. I think that you'll know if your category is struggling. I mean, obviously, there are industries like travel that are really, really struggling right now. Hospitality that's really struggling right now. But there's always opportunity at the end of the tunnel. I tell you what, I can't wait to go travel. I was traveling extensively for the last 2 years, and I've been in one place. I'm sorry for the background, but I'm at my mom's place right now. I have been for the last 6 months during this pandemic. So many people are like that, and so many people like me can't wait to go travel, right? So some of it isn't necessarily that the category will be crushed and have a great downfall. I think maybe it's just having a pause and a reset. And so much of success, like the Beard Club's success, yes, we knew what we were doing in branding, but we had a great offer at great timing. At 2015, everyone had beards, right? So much of success is luck and timing. And anyone that tells you that success doesn't involve luck and timing, again, is probably not telling the truth. So I think that the industries that are struggling right now, as long as they're in line with where people want to go, if you have a really unsustainable product, in 5 years, people probably won't touch it, right? But as long as you're in line with these three big shifts and big mindset shifts that people are having right now, I don't think that you can go wrong on a long enough timeline. Is innovation a key to success during a recession? Absolutely. We need to think outside of the box, and entrepreneurs are really great at doing that. And that means you can have like incremental innovation. So a product that you're selling right now or a service you're selling right now, you can make it a little bit better. Or you can have sort of the 0 to 1 idea where you're creating something totally new. But I think that in times of struggle, at least personally in my life, when my father passed away, it was the hardest time of my life, but I became a better person because of it, right? And I think that with this recession and what that's going to happen, it's going to be the hardest time for a lot of people's lives. But we're going to figure out different ways of doing things because of it. So some of the coolest innovations that we could have imagined will come from this struggle because we have to. That's what a lot of humans do. Like not everyone, but most people, when your back's against the wall and you're faced with failure or defeat or death or starvation, you dig in and you do what you have to do. So I believe that innovation is going to be a massive key to success during a recession. But at the same time, the recession itself provides the opportunity for recession. So we have to for innovation. So we have to try and be grateful for it. Would you advise brands cut back on advertising? I know we're almost out of time here. Seeing that there is a slowdown, I think this really again depends on the market that you're in. It's interesting. A lot of really big brands actually advertise more and come out winners. This is going to depend on you and your budget and your business. If you know the lifetime value of your customer, if you're investing in building a bigger customer base and you can do that without putting yourself out of business, I think you should keep going. I think you're going to find out so much about your customers in the next 12 to 18 months that will position you for the future. But don't stretch yourself too thin. Don't put yourself out of business. I think in order to understand more, if you're going to be able to survive through this and be able to advertise more, you should really talk to your customers and connect with them. Get on the phone with them. I know this is something that we don't like to do when we're in affiliate marketing or media buying is to actually talk to people. People just become numbers at a certain point, but actually talk to people. You really understand whether or not you can start to advertise more to connect with them, and if that's going to come back to you in the long term. So I think we're out of time. I really hope that was helpful for everyone. Thank you so much for your time. I know I spoke really fast. I was just trying to get through a lot, but I'm so grateful for all of you for spending your time with me today. It means a lot. And thank you so much, the India Affiliate Summit, for having me. I really appreciate this so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for your time. It was a lovely session. We will soon be back with yet another exciting session. Meanwhile, I would request the audience to please visit our exhibitor space. And please do also check out the leaderboard on the platform to know on updates on our various contests. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Brown.